Over the past month of senseless, unjustified war, there has been one event that has haunted me. Out of all of the attacks and all of the bombings, there is one that continually returns to my mind and torments me. On February 28th, the first day of the war, the United States military bombed a girls' elementary school in Iran in a city called Manab. The school was struck by missiles 3 times. At least 175 people were killed, and over 100 of them were girls aged 7 to 12. My God, why have you forsaken them? Why are you so far from helping them, from the words of their groaning? Oh my God, they cry by day, but you do not answer, and by night, but they find no rest. What does Good Friday mean in a time of war? In tonight's gospel, the chapter before the Passion that was read tonight, we get an idea of Jesus' position on war. The gospel says that Simon Peter, who had a sword, drew it, struck the high priest's slave, and cut off his right ear. The slave's name was Malchus. Jesus said to Peter, "Put your sword back into your sheath. Am I not to drink the cup that the Father has given me?" What's interesting about this particular passage is how it was interpreted by the church fathers. Nearly universally, it was seen as Jesus taking a firm stance against all violence in war. The church father Tertullian, who lived in the 2nd and 3rd centuries, said that Christ, in disarming Peter, disarmed every soldier. Christ, in disarming Peter, disarmed every soldier. Another church father, Origen, from the same time period, said, "You cannot demand military service of Christians any more than you can of priests. We do not go forth as soldiers with the emperor, even if he demands this." And St. Irenaeus said, "Christians have changed their swords and their lances into instruments of peace, and they know not how to fight." I could give a dozen more examples of this, but the point is clear that the church over the centuries has consistently rejected violence and war. Now, many Jewish people at the time of Jesus were expecting a Messiah who would be a political leader, even a military leader, who would come in and triumphantly overthrow Caesar and restore Israel to its former glory. I can imagine how Jesus would have been seen by these folks. He's weak, he's ineffective, he doesn't even fight back. He's letting the Romans torture him and crucify him. He can't even save himself. People taunted and mocked Jesus when he was on the cross. The Gospel of Luke tells us that the leaders scoffed at him. They said, "He saved others, let him save himself. If he's the Messiah, God's chosen one." The soldiers mocked him, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." And even one of the criminals beside him, crucified beside him, ridiculed him. "Are you not the Messiah? Save yourself and us." What they did not realize is that Jesus was showing us a brand new way of being human. All of human history is sadly full of violence. An empire rises up, goes to war, kills and conquers people, takes land. Sometimes, in fact often, they even use religion to justify their violence and their tyranny. They may hold power for a time, maybe a long time, maybe even centuries. But these empires never last forever. A new empire comes along, conquers the old one. Through violence and subjugation, the cycle repeats. C.S. Lewis writes that nearly all that we call human history, money, poverty, ambition, war, prostitution, classes, empires, slavery, is the long, terrible story of humans trying to find something other than God which will make them happy. Violence begets violence begets violence. As the book of Ecclesiastes tells us, What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. But along comes Jesus Christ. Our God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the one who made the sun, the moon, the stars, the one who put breath into our lungs, the one who gives life to all things, became one of us. God became human. And God was not born as someone rich or powerful, not as a political or military leader, not into an influential family. No, God was born into a family of peasants, of nobodies, in a small village surrounded by smelly farm animals. God was poor. He was a carpenter, a working class man who spent most of his time with other peasants and with tax collectors, prostitutes, and other sinners. Hebrews tells us that Jesus was tested just like we were. He was like us in every way, except that he did not sin. What does that mean to be like us in every way? Well, we're human. We're fragile creatures. We need so many things simply to survive. We need food, water, shelter, air, the right temperature, sleep, healthcare, sanitation. We need other people. We need friends, family. And we need thousands of bodily processes to happen smoothly inside of us just to keep us alive every day. To be human is to be vulnerable. And God became utterly vulnerable. Why do we call this day Good Friday? Is it not a sad day, a day of mourning? When a loved one dies, we don't call that good. Today's Good Friday because today is the day that Jesus truly became like us in every way. Because apart from all of the things I mentioned before, to be human is also to die. Today is the day that God's journey into the depths of our humanity is complete. Jesus took all of that violence and all of that war and tragedy and misery from the long, terrible story of our history, and he took it upon himself. He did not fight that. He did not continue the cycle of violence. And the greatest act of self-sacrifice and love that we have ever known, God died for us. And God's aching compassion for the world was revealed to us. This day is good because there is now nothing in this life, nothing that we have to face alone, not even death. God's love for us is so great that through Christ, God has experienced all of our brokenness, all of our pain, all of our misery, and now God can walk through it with us, not as a stranger, but as one who suffers with us. Some mystics have gone as far as to say that there is only one suffering, and it is all the suffering of God. And I know that God suffered with those Iranian schoolgirls, and the teachers, and the parents, and the administrators. I know God was under the rubble with them. So, what do we do about all of this evil in the present age? For several months now, I have returned again and again to Psalm 37. Do not fret yourself because of evildoers. Do not be jealous of those who do wrong, for they shall soon wither like the grass, and like the green grass fade away. There is no shortage of tyrants and conquerors in the world. There is no shortage of war criminals. There's no shortage of evil people who profit from war. They will not be remembered. They shall soon wither like the grass. Put your trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on its riches. Do not fret yourself over one who prospers, the one who succeeds in evil schemes. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for God. Heaven and earth may pass away, but Jesus' words will never pass away. And Christ's sacrifice on the cross will be remembered forever. So as we come forward tonight, let us bring our pain and our suffering, knowing that Christ was like us in every way and that Christ suffers with us. As we come forward and venerate the cross, may we also receive into our hearts Christ's love and his able compassion for the world.